Welcome to a Sunday edition of Not Just Giants. I'm Matt, and today I'm going to preview the Giants' Monday Night Football matchup with the Seattle Seahawks. In the NFL, it really can get late early, because when we look at the 1-2 New York Giants' next three games, home against Seattle, at Miami, and at Buffalo, we see that 1-2 can easily become 1-5, and that means sayonara season. And that's why this Monday night game against the 2-1 Seattle Seahawks, who, with their fourth-ranked offense, likely see this as a winnable game for them, is so crucial for New York. What do the Giants, with their 31st-ranked offense and their 30th-ranked defense, have to do to scratch and claw to win against a good Seahawks squad who beat them last year in Seattle and are playing with confidence after beating a good Lions team, who also defeated the Giants in 2022, and a relatively weak Panthers team last week? When the Seahawks have the ball, they've had their most success both running and passing out of two tight end, 12 personnel formations, and rely heavily on play action to get the ball from quarterback Geno Smith into the hands of their top two veteran receivers, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, particularly in the intermediate zone of the defense. It will be interesting to see if the Giants continue to employ their cornerbacks against Seattle in the same way they've done against their first three opponents, with rookies Tay Banks and Trey Hawkins on the outside and Adoree Jackson in the slot. If the Seahawks continue running a lot of 12 personnel, I can see the Giants manning up on Metcalf and Lockett with their two best corners, Banks and Jackson, sitting Hawkins, and maybe adding a third safety like Dane Belton to help cover the tight ends as well as stop the run. If the Seahawks elect to run more three wide receiver, 11 personnel sets against the Giants than they have against their previous opponents, look for them to put talented rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba in the slot, which will make it interesting to see how the Giants choose to defend against that formation. Will Adoree Jackson stay in the slot or work outside against Metcalf or Lockett? Curious to see the snap counts for New York's secondary after this game. In their last two games, Seattle has shown it's capable of lighting up the scoreboard. I'm sure when they look at the film of New York's defense, they probably don't see a reason why they can't eclipse 30 points. And that's why the Giants need to prove that this Wink Martindale defense has thus far not played up to its talent level, that it's capable of making big plays in terms of pressures, sacks, and turnovers. This week, the Giants have starting edge rusher Azeez Ojulari back. All offseason, Giants fans imagined an Ojulari-Thibodeaux tandem as one opposing offenses would fear every time they drop back to pass. But so far in 2023, we've yet to see it materialize. If ever there was a week when New York could get its pass rush together against a banged-up Seattle line, particularly at tackle, this would be the week to show their stuff. When the Giants have the ball, it's pretty clear that they'll need to attack all three levels of the Seahawks' 31st ranked pass defense, but they'll have to do it without their all-pro left tackle Andrew Thomas, who still has not fully recovered from his Week 1 hamstring injury. Thomas will once again be replaced by Josh Ezeudu, who at least will be aided by the return of starting left guard Ben Bredeson. This Ezeudu, Bredeson, JMS, McKethan, Neal unit must slow down Seattle's capable pass rush in order to give Danny Jones enough time to open up the deep zones of the defense, which, with the lack of talent the Giants had at receiver last year, was not an area of the field they were able to exploit. This allowed Seattle to clog the middle of the field and keep extra defenders in the box to stuff the run and beat the Giants. Saquon Barkley is doubtful for the game, so if the Giants want to keep the Seahawks' stout 6th-ranked run defense honest, they'll likely have to do it with veteran running backs Matt Breida and Gary Brightwell, and perhaps rookie Eric Gray. Even though through 3 games the biggest Seattle weakness appears to be coverage in the secondary, in my view, the Giants must keep the Seahawks defense off balance by doing a better job staying committed to the run game than they have in previous weeks. For the Giants to increase their chances of winning against a playoff caliber team like the Seahawks, they'll really need to make Seattle back off the line of scrimmage by hitting on some deep shots. This should lead to lighter boxes that will create space in the run game as well as in the short and intermediate zones for the passing game. But to do this, protection with this Andrew Thomas-less offensive line must hold up. If it doesn't, this could spell doom for the Giants and their season. Show us what you've got, New York, and let's go!